Good afternoon, everybody. How are you doing? Welcome to my channel, Flourish and Thrive with EA, where we empower you to heal, to thrive, and to flourish after a toxic or traumatic relationship and help you find yourself again. I'm your host, Elizabeth Akiniyi, and I'm a relationship and marriage therapist, and I have something to discuss today. So today's topic is actually something you might have been experiencing, some things that you might have seen with other people. It is applies to everybody, not only to just women. It applies to men too. So if you want to know the reason why you behave the way you behave, or you want to know the reason why some people do some certain things in a relationship, then today's video is for you. So what we're going to be talking about today is the 4 attachment style that are in a relationship. I don't know, maybe you've heard of attachment style. You might have heard of it and you might not have heard of it. But if you have heard of it, well, I don't know what I'm going to say, but if you've not heard of it, so you can sit around and try to understand why you behave the way you behave in a relationship. Some people behave calm, they behave secure, they behave in such a way, no matter the conflicts, they know how to navigate through conflict, they know how to confront situations, they know how to be to work together with a team. They actually know how to navigate conflicts. They know how to go through difficult seasons and difficult times in a relationship. They have a healthy self-esteem. They have a healthy self-worth of themselves. So they are not really, they are independent, and they tend to actually work with other people who are also independent to bring out the best in themselves. Some people are like that. And we have some other people whereby they need constant reassurance that you're actually going to be with them. They fear that you're going to leave them one day. So they actually do everything to please you, to make you happy, so that you will not leave them. They are always overboard. They are always over you. They are always checking your phones. Even though you are not cheating on them, they always check your phones. They always ask you, do you love me? Do you love me? Do you love me? Do you love? And you keep wondering, I love you. Then why are you always asking me this question? There is a reason behind this. It's one of the attachment styles. They're very clingy. They are very obsessive. They are very possessive. They fear being alone. So those are all the things that some people do. Some people, they are the kind of people, they are all bottled up. They are so independent. They will tell you, I don't need anybody to feel complete. Yes, I'm just like that. I had to start changing myself. They don't need anybody to feel complete. They don't need anybody to make them feel it's very difficult for them to express their emotions, their feelings. They find it very difficult to source people. And there's some people, you'll be in a relationship with them, everything will be going on so fine, so smoothly. All of a sudden they start drawing away from you, and you try to get to them to understand, we've not been hanging out for some times. If I call you, you tell us, what's the problem? They'll tell you, I'm busy. And before you know it, they just draw away from you completely, and they just black out. You might not see them for the next one week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and some months, and they just come back again and tell you, let's pick up from where we stopped from. So they are on and off. They are not stable. So these are the different attachment styles we'll be talking about today. So what exactly are attachment styles? So I've been saying attachment style. So what exactly are attachment styles? Our attachment styles are behavioral patterns that we actually develop in childhood, which helps us to relate to people and adulthood. So most times your attachment style starts from childhood, the way you were brought up by your parents, what you were made to believe, what you were made to see, the way your father, your mother brought you up, or your caregiver, or your parents, or your guardians. So if they were the one, they were not given love, love was not a consistent thing in your family. It has a way of shaping your mindset. Your emotional needs were not met. You were neglected. you were criticized, and you're the kind of person. There are some people, yeah, they had parents, caregivers that give them everything that they needed as children. They were there for them emotionally, mentally, physically. Their parents help them feel so secure in themselves. Such adults, they have a way they relate with people in relationship, whether romantic relationship, whether it is work relationship, any kind of relationship. They have a way they relate with people. And they all, for people whereby they were silenced, they were made to take up adult responsibilities as children. They also have a way they relate to people when they grow up. It just has a way. So we, in therapy or psychology, we call it programming. The way you were programmed, the way you were made to think, your conditioning. So you get your conditioning from your parents, from your teachers, from the society, and from your peers. Also, you hear so many things. The things you see, the things you hear your parents say, everything. You were picking everything up as a child. You were like, as a child, you were like a sponge. So you were picking up all these things, and they have a way of shaping the way you think about yourself and the way you see the world. So that is what we are talking here about today. So this way, it develops some behavioral patterns in you, which makes you to relate to people in the way you relate to them. So we have 4 different types of attachment style, and that is what I'll be explaining here today. Before I actually go into explaining, I want to tell you that for today's class, I have 2 free resources in the description section. So you can go into the description section to actually download those free resources. The first one is an assessment guide worksheet. So the assessment guide worksheet is there to help you understand and know your attachment style. So if you don't know what category you fall into in your attachment style, I'll be explaining every one of them. But if you don't know which one you fall into, you can actually go into the description box, the section, download the assessment guide. This will help you. You need to answer some questions there. So from the questions that you answer, you would know your assessment, your attachment style. Then the second worksheet is a daily practice. It is what you can do. It is something that is very easy. You can do it every day. What you can do that can help you move from the insecure attachment style to the secure attachment style. So it is something you can do every day. It's something very easy. I myself also do it. So it helps to navigate you from the insecure attachment style to the secure attachment style. So what are the attachment styles? So I'm going to categorize, there are 4, but I'm going to categorize them into 2. So the first one is the secure attachment style, and the second one is the insecure attachment style. This insecure attachment style comprises of 3 different attachment styles, so it makes it 4. So for the first one, the secure attachment style, this one is very, very easy and is the best so far. So in this kind of attachment style, you have individuals that have a healthy self-esteem about themselves. They are calm, they are calculated, they are steady. They can handle conflicts in relationship. They don't have a low self-esteem of themselves. They don't have a low self-worth about themselves. They know who they are. They are whole. They are complete. So in their relationship, there is love, there is trust, there is understanding, there is companionship, there is independence, there is friendship. They have ways of navigating conflicts without shouting or speaking anyhow to each other. They know how to really communicate with each other and solve problems. So such people, they grew up with parents which gave them every of their emotional needs. They gave them emotional need, the physical need. They gave them the every kind of need that they need. So they were parents that were constantly giving them everything that they needed. So They were not criticized. So when they were doing everything, their parents gave them that confidence. Right from childhood, they've been able to have this healthy self-confidence about themselves because their parents were the ones that were hyping them, making them to believe in themselves. So as an adult, they grew up with this esteem about themselves. They knew what they knew about themselves. So that was how they were able to relate to other people in society. So most times people with secure attachment style, they have healthy relationship. So they don't fall prey into toxic or abusive relationship because they have a healthy self-esteem of themselves. They understand what love is all about. They understand what relationship is all about. So they understand building healthy relationship. So they don't just fall into any relationship when you tell them I love you. If they don't see the attributes of love, they will stay. They can't stay in such a relationship. So they know how to navigate through conflicts. They know how to love themselves. They have a balanced self-view. They have a balanced self-love. So such a relationship is healthy. So they have a healthy relationship. So let's move to the second type, the insecure attachment style. I'm sorry, there's so much noise outside. Somebody is actually going through outside, and there's nothing I can do. I can't stop people from walking around. So there are some noises in the background, but there's nothing I can do about it. I'm really sorry. So now let's go to the next session, and that is the insecure attachment style. So for the first one in the insecure attachment style, I'll be talking about the anxious attachment style. Have you seen people whereby they keep tabs of you? Maybe you're in a relationship with a woman and she keeps asking you, do you love me? Do you love me? She keeps, even though you tell her every day you love her, you even express it to her, she will keep asking you, do you love me? She needs that constant reassurance. She's very clingy, very, very clingy. I don't know, maybe you see somebody like that. So, you know, so some people, these are the kind of people, maybe some men and some women, they will tell you that if I love with the whole of my heart. They don't think, I've heard people say something like that. That if I love with the whole of my heart. They don't think. So they would put in the whole of themselves into a relationship, and what they're doing is not actually love. It's actually a response to a certain emotional need that is not met in their childhood. So most times they are clingy. When I mean clingy, they will always want to be around you. So such people will always want to be around you. They can't be alone by themselves. So they're the kind of women that are actually jealous. If they see you with another woman, you're in trouble. Or if they see you with another man, you're in trouble. They will want to know who is that man. Even if you tell them that it's just a friend, they're going to throw a fit. They're going to get very, very angry. Like as if they'll say, oh, you're cheating on me, you're doing this, you're doing that. And it's not true. So they start making assumptions. They start saying, no, that is how she's going to leave me. That is how he's going to leave me. That is how they start. You can imagine. They are not secure in themselves. So their sense of self-worth is coming from you being in a relationship with them. They have a very low self-esteem of who they really are. They don't value themselves. They don't, they have a low self-esteem, and they have a low self-worth about themselves. So their self-worth comes from you reassuring them that you are not going to leave. Then you can imagine a husband is at work, and the wife will be calling because the husband is not picking up the call. Maybe he is actually talking to his boss, so it's in a meeting. The wife will start crying at home. Imagine, I've seen something like that. They will start crying at home, will start coming to jumping to conclusion that he's cheating on me with another woman. He has gone to meet with another woman, and some will go go to extra lengths of actually going to find out what the husband is doing. They keep tabs of what he's doing. They check his phone. They clone his phone up to because they want to know what he's doing. They are not secure. If they see their husband or their boyfriend with another woman, they don't want to know if it's just a friend. They start having they start imagining things in their head. They start coming up with different assumptions. Some will even start using emotional blackmail. That's if you don't that I feel you are cheating on me and this, and if you don't stop, I'm going to leave. It's a lie. Let them leave. Like I would tell some of my class, if they let them leave and see if they will leave. So I will say, if you don't stop it, I'll kill myself. Let them commit suicide. Yeah, it's nothing. It's all nothing. They're just trying to guilt trip. That's the way I see it. Some people might not see it that way, but that's the way I see it, because why would you make somebody stay in a relationship with you by trying to tell them that you're trying to change them, or trying to make them do the things that you are imagining in your mind, and saying if they don't do this, you don't do that, you are going to harm yourself. Some women are like that, some men are like that. They will go extra lengths to do just to keep a relationship, and it is coming from the attachment style they have. They are insecure, they are anxious, they live with this anxiety, so it is stemming from their childhood. So when you have a parent who is a caregiver who does not give consistent love to their child, it becomes a problem. So such a child believes that love has to be earned. In a situation whereby the parents are not meeting up to the child emotional needs, maybe the dad will be here today and the next day is not around. Maybe the child wants the father to come to, maybe they have a program, an event in school, or the mother, they have an event in school. Both parents are not available. The child will start to feel old. I'm not wanted, I'm not loved, and I'm not special, because they always leave. They are not there to actually meet. Maybe the child is actually saying, oh, my daddy, my mommy, I want to talk about something. They will tell you, shut up, what do you want to say? You are disturbing me. Go and sit down in your room. African parents, that's how they behave. My parents did it to me. The child will just be bottled up. So the child will have to go and stay in their room, and before you know, they become very silent. They won't be bubbling again, and you will start wondering, what is wrong with this child? All of a sudden she just went to go and stay in one place. What did I do to the child? They don't understand that they didn't meet up to a certain need the child is looking. And once in Africa, before you know it, the mother will carry cane and start beating the child again for not talking. You can imagine. If you talk, they will beat you. If you don't talk, they will beat you. So you imagine that kind of a situation. That child did not have consistent love, so that child doesn't understand what love really means. So the child is has a belief system that every time I need them, they are not always there for me. So that child believes that, oh, you have to do something to get love. So when they grow up, they begin to overthink things. So if their husband or their boyfriend does a little thing like this, they will overthink it that he's going to leave me again, just like my parents left me. That is how it happens. So when I tell some people that the way you bring up your child will determine the way they will behave in adulthood. I will also see them, and and we have to give them some vital information. So some people will say, tell me sometimes, are you really a therapist? Because I will ask questions, and at the same time I would actually educate them, let them understand that these are the dangers of what you're actually doing to your child right now. So that is where it develops, because you've made your child to believe that, oh, the child's feelings are not valid. They like my dad will say, you be seen and not be heard. I still remember he will tell us, be seen and not be heard. You can imagine, you can't speak up your mind. So we grew up with this, all my siblings, we grew up in this mindset that a child has to always keep quiet. It was later we all discovered that it was not so, and we have to change our orientation. If today my dad tells me be seen and not be heard, I'm going to go wild immediately. What do you mean by be seen and not be heard? You better tell you what. I am no more 6 or 7 years old. I am now an adult. You can't tell me what I'm going to do, so keep it to yourself. So, and he himself does not go beyond that. I would tell, don't just give me that crap that be seen and not be heard, because I knew the damaging effect he had on me. Because it was very difficult for me to always open up my emotions, my feelings to others. I fear opening up to people because I believed I will be judged or I'll be criticized. Some children sometimes they would want to say some things to their parents, and when they are saying those things to their parents, instead of their parents to understand what they are trying to say, the parents will start criticizing them and start judging the child. It opens an avenue for that child not to be able to trust the parents again, to be able to tell them their secrets. They won't want to share any secrets with them. So such a child will develop the feeling that they don't care for me. They don't really care for me. So that that child feels left all alone. So when they're in a relationship, they feel that the guy, the husband or the wife is going to do the same thing to them. So they become very clingy. They want reassurance. They always want to be around their husbands. They want to be around their wives all the time. They will say, some will say they are inseparable. When I look at some couples that are inseparable, I know that I look at some characteristics. When I don't see those characteristics in them, I'm like, this is not the right way relationship should be. There are some anomalies going on in the minds of these people. One of them is actually not in the right state, and they have to just revisit it. So I've seen situations like that. I've treated cases like that. So that's the reason why I can actually talk extensively about it. There are so many situations here in Africa. So the second one I'm going to talk about is the avoidant attachment style. This happens to mostly firstborns and men in Africa. Here, they will tell you that men don't cry. At a very young age, you tell a boy that he's the man of the house, that he has to man up, that if everybody is crying, everybody is showing expression or showing their emotions, he does not have to show his emotion. And such a child will start suppressing their emotional needs. They will start suppressing their emotional needs to start taking the role of an adult. So they grow up with this over independent mindset. They don't believe they need anybody. They can't open up their feelings to anybody. So if you marry such a man or you're in a relationship with such a man, the man doesn't say anything. You will just be in that relationship with him. If you want to establish a talk to him, he won't talk to you. He would rather go out and hang out with some people. He doesn't like going into deep conversations, because he feels the moment he starts going into deep conversation, he's going to become very weak. So he sees vulnerability as a sign of weakness, because he's been taught as a child, as a man, that men has to be strong. And one of the characteristics of being strong is that you must not cry, you must not talk, you must not do this. And all these cultural norms we give to our children, that now transform them into something else as adults. I will tell people, when you raise children, you don't just raise children for your own, for yourself. You raise children for the society, because one day or the other, these children are going to leave you. And when they leave you, they will not stay with you. They will leave you. The behaviors you have put in them, the things you have put in them, they will actually, that is what they will carry and start behaving towards other people. I will tell people, like one of my teachers will say, you don't treat a child like an animal and expect them to behave like a responsible adult. They will behave like an animal. It's just the damn truth. So you find such men, they avoid intimate situation. Most of the time, those men enjoy relationship they call situationship. So if you are married to such a man, you can't talk about deep intimacies. No, Kosheshe, it's impossible. You can't talk about deep intimacies. They find it very difficult to open up about their feelings. They can't talk about their feelings. They can't talk about how they feel. No matter how many times you ask them, do you love me? They won't speak. You'll just be wondering that what kind of person is this? They prefer to talk about work. They prefer to talk about games. They prefer to talk about anything else. But anything that has to do with intimate that comes from the heart is a no-go area. They can't talk about it. And it is the way they've been programmed to think. When a child becomes an adult at a very young age, whereby you have to take up the responsibility that your parents had to do. So we call it parenting. a child becomes an adult as at that age, so they do the things that their parents are supposed to do. Maybe their father died, or they have very irresponsible parents, and they have to be the one to take care of their siblings, so they adopt the role of a parent as a child age. So they are deprived of all the pleasures they are supposed to get in their childhood. So such a child carries shoulders so many responsibilities as a child. So what others could do, the expression, the play, and everything that other children could do, they don't have the pleasure to do, because they are thinking like an adult. They are thinking of how they are going to make money. They are thinking of how they are going to take care of the other. So they don't have time to do those things younger children do. So as an adult, they become bottled up. They are bottled up. They become over independent. They believe they don't need anybody to help them, because they can always source their problems by themselves. They can always take care of themselves. So in such a situation, if you are in a relationship with them and you're trying to bring in closeness, you are looking for trouble, they will push you away. I don't want. They will say that guy, our wahala is too much, or that guy, his wahala is too much. They don't like people being lovey-dovey. They love their independence. They love to be alone. I was like that. Even sometimes, if you try to come into my, no, it becomes suffocating. I just like, no, it becomes overwhelming. It is because of the way they were meant to bring up, because they were meant to grow, they grew up so fast. So in another situation whereby a child, their parents were not always there, it was their housemate that was always taking care of them. So they grew up in the midst of their housemate. Their parents were not there. Their parents were not there in any way. When they need money, their parents will give them money, but their parents were not there in any other way. So they were made to take decisions alone for themselves, do everything by themselves. They become independent. So as adults, they become over independent. They don't need anybody. Even if you want to help them, they find it very difficult to take care from people. They find it very hard to trust people. They can't, see, even if they are dying, even if such people are dying today, they will pretend that everything is fine with them. They won't want anybody to know that anything is wrong with me. I'm going through difficult times. They would rather prefer to shoulder other people's problems and solve their problems than for them to actually open up to other people and tell them that I'm going through this. So most of the time they appear very strong, but deep inside they are crumbling. They are crumbling deep within themselves. So that is the way such people behave. So from what I'm saying so far, you can begin to check yourself. Do I behave in this way? Am I like this? Am I the kind of person that I am clingy? I'm always afraid that my partner is going to leave me. I'm always checking his phone. If I call him and he doesn't pick up my phone, then all hell is going to go loose, because I believe he's cheating on me, or I believe he's doing something. I begin to cry, or I might try to take my life, or try to commit suicide. You need to check yourself. You need to check yourself. If you're always feeling anxious, always believing that all men are unfaithful, that all women are unfaithful, she's going to leave just as that one leaves, or he's going to leave just as that one leaves, you need to check yourself. If you are the type you're always saying, you say, yeah, don't mind them, they will soon leave, they will soon go, that's how they go. Check yourself now and check, where did this all start from? It doesn't start from today. It started from somewhere. Go back to your childhood. So if you are the type you're over dependent, you can't talk to people about your problems. You always believe that you are the one in charge, you can always solve your problem. You prefer situationship than to be in a real relationship. You prefer a surface relationship, nothing too tight, nothing too clingy. You prefer to talk about work. You prefer to talk about responsibilities. You are not ready to talk about anything intimate. You are not ready to talk about moving to an intimate relationship. Being in an intimate relationship is suffocating. Even if you marry because you want to have children, not really because you really want to have an intimate relationship with your wife. So you and your wife can be living in the same house, but you are not living as husband as wife. You are living as roommates. Yes, we have some kind of marriage like that. They live as roommates. They sleep with each other. They do everything to work. they don't have this connection in within of them. There's this intimate connection between them does not exist. They don't have this heart to heart connection. No, is everything about them is all surface. They might come to social media, post pictures. Oh, we are the perfect couple, the perfect family. Go back into their house and see what is really going on underneath. A lot of them are having problems, and they come to social media. They pretend that they are the happy couple. They pretend that everything is going on well with them. They are the happy family. It is well. So now let's move on to the last one, and that is the disorganized attachment style. This one, wow, we call this the fearful avoidant. The reason why this one is really serious, if you have this, you need to see a therapist. You need to see a therapist. You need to go for healing, because it is the most difficult, and it is the most what do they call it, it has more impact. So it is a combination of the avoidance and the anxious attachment style combined together. Such people, they frustrate their partner. They frustrate their partner because their partner does not know what they want. Chai, they don't know what they want. Because such people, they want love, but they feel that love is not safe. So you might be in a relationship with them, everything is going on well and fine, and all of a sudden you just see that they start withdrawing bit by bit. Maybe you guys are hanging out maybe 3 or 4 times in a week. They start reducing it to 2, and before you know, they reduce it to 1. Before you know it, maybe they call you like 6 times in a week. They start reducing it to 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. You don't see them again. You try to find out what is wrong with them. They just black out. They just shut down. Then all of a sudden, maybe 1 month or 2 months later, they will be the one to call you up and tell you, oh, I'm sorry, I had to do something. They will come up with one excuse or the other. You will continue from where you are, and all of a sudden again, they just begin to withdraw, and that is how the cycle continues. They will be with you today, they will break up with you tomorrow. Next tomorrow, they will come back into your life again. They will break up with you again. That is how they are disorganized. They want love, but but when that love comes, they are the ones that will run away completely. So they run away from intimacy. They want it, but when it comes to them, they fear it. So as a result, even if they try to keep that relationship, they will self-sabotage the relationship. They will come up with self-sabotaging behaviors that will scatter the relationship. They will come up with behaviors that will make you say, no, I can't take this. And most of the time, people that suffer from this, that are in this attachment style group, they are coming from they have a wounded lens. Maybe the lens is coming from trauma, or maybe from childhood neglect, or emotional abuse. So they understand that love is needed, but they feel afraid. So let us start looking at it in the African way. I'm not going to look Oyinbo way. We are going to look African way. If you are a kind of person whereby maybe you were brought up in your caregiver was your close relative, your family member, maybe you now saw your close caregiver was your mother's was a female, and she had a husband, and the husband was always maltreating her. So as a young child, you are trying to understand why the man is maltreating her. So your aunt gives you love, tries to take care of you, but she starts telling you things that men are bad, men are not so good, that marriage and that if you marry, don't marry this kind of man, don't marry this kind of man. She begins to tell you all sorts of things from a state of innocence based on the experience she is having. She's not meaning anything bad to you, but she's talking from the sphere of her own pain. And this generates a perception in you as a child. So you believe that love, because you're getting love from your caregiver, but you also see that love as an the love in marriage, that if you fall in love with marriage, they will hurt you, they will beat you, they will do all these things to you. So such women, they are in a relationship, but when the man wants to get too intimate, then they draw back, they move away from that relationship immediately, they break up that relationship. They will, after some time, they will be the one to carry their leg back into the relationship, and if he wants to get intimate again, they move away. So that they are afraid, that what do they call it, they are afraid that such a thing is going to happen to them. So they want love, they cling for it, but when it comes to them, then they develop this sense of fear. This sense of fear and anxiety makes them look like, no, I can't stay here, I have to leave, so it's better for me to be all by myself. So they leave. So they frustrate their partner. Their partner won't know what they want. Today they might be loving, tomorrow you will just see them, they will just carry another face again. What did I do to you? Did I offend you? No. If you have a partner who is actually behaving this way, you need to talk to them. You don't need to fix them. You need to make them understand that they need to see a therapist, because there is a wound that is left unresolved. They went through a trauma. They went through a traumatic childhood. Maybe they were verbally abused or emotionally abused. One thing or the other was tragic that happened to them that made them to start behaving in such a way. So you'll find out that they will say, I don't understand what is wrong with her. I have given her everything, but I don't understand. She will not just want to stay. It's not that she's cheating on me, but she will just walk away, and again she will come back again. I don't understand what is wrong with her. I'm even tired of her. They frustrate their partner. So in such a situation, don't try to force them to stay or beg them to stay. Make them understand that there's a problem and it's coming from their childhood. There's something, a wound that they need to address, and they need to talk to a therapist. So that they can get healed. When they get healed, they have a much better perspective about love, because they've been able to see love as a source of pain. Something has happened to them, so they fear it, but they want it. So maybe they had a father that beat up their mother. You can imagine a situation whereby a father beats up the mother to death in front of the child. So that child, how do you expect such a child to believe that if I get married, my husband will do the same to me? So the child will always witness the father beating the mother until he kills the mother one day. I've seen situations like that, whereby he killed the mother, and because of it, the child carried the pain. The child is traumatized, and the child can't actually talk about it, can't express that pain. So the child knows that love is good, but if you go deep into it, it is unsafe. So such a child will maintain a kind of, I want love, but I don't think marriage is the best thing for me. So they might be in a relationship. If the guys start getting too intimate, they will run away. They will just run away. They will believe that you will do the same thing that you did, that same thing that happened to my mother will happen to me. That is how they will come and kill me. It is funny. I might be laughing, but it's something that is not so good. So there are so many things we do as adults that all those children are saying. You see all these children, what do they call them? With the generation we have now, it's not even Gen Z, Gen Alpha, what do they call them? They are like sponge. They absorb everything. Everything you are doing, the way you are talking, the way you are dressing, the way you put on your makeup, everything is what they are watching, and it's all going into their brain. It's developing their brain. The way you talk, the way you do everything, they are looking at everything. It is shaping them. It is going to make them become who they are going to become in adulthood. So if you are a parent, you like insult your child anyhow, call them this one, call them that name, call them bad name. They are imbibing it in their mind. And it will determine the way they behave as adults. So you find that most of these people, the person that is suffering, that is in an anxious attachment style, they will fall vulnerable to toxic relationship because they want love. They didn't get love as a child. They didn't get consistent love, so they want love. So they will always be begging for love in relationship. And the person that is in the relationship with them, that they enter wahala. Because they will always be wanting love. No matter how much love you give to them, they will tell you it's not enough. because they can't give that love to themselves. They believe they are dependent upon you to give them that love. If you love them, you need to let them understand that they need to talk to somebody, a counselor, a relationship and marriage counselor, or a therapist, or a life coach, which can help them rewire their mind to see things in the right way. It's not your job to fix anybody in a relationship. In all this insecure attachment style, don't try to fix anybody. It is not your job to fix anybody in a relationship. If you're in a relationship with somebody who is insecure, the best thing you can do to them is to advise them to go for therapy. If you love them, you can follow them for therapy, but don't try to fix them. You think trying to fix them will make them stay? No, it's not right. You're going to do yourself more harm than good. And you are not born to fix people now. Why would you be fixing somebody in a relationship? It's not your responsibility. I will hear some women say, hey, I will be with him. I will change him. The person ask them, you will won't change person. You don't change yourself. Oh my goodness. I will change him. He will change. He will change. And let me say the truth today. You can't change anybody. If a person does not decide to change, no matter how you try to change them, they will not change. I may sound sarcastic here, but it is the truth. No matter how you try to change anybody, if they don't decide to change, they won't change. So if a man misbehaves now before you marry him, and you say you will change him, when he marries, he will change. I tell you, if you marry him, it is exactly what he has been doing before marriage that he will do. In fact, when in marriage, he will do double. And then he will not come and say, it is my village people that are after me. It's not your village people. It's not your village people. You are not a fixer in relationship. You are not in a relationship to fix anybody. If anybody is broken in a relationship, they need to go fix themselves. They need to go see the right people. Don't try to fix anybody or try to say you want to change anybody. Now they will not enter into the marriage, or the man will not enter into the marriage with the broken woman, and the woman will start showing him pepper, and he will start complaining, God help me, God help me. And mostly in Africa, when a man is misbehaving, they will tell the wife that you should go down on your knees and start praying for him, that Holy Spirit will change him. In fact, I laugh and laugh. Oh my God. I'm not saying that prayer does not work, but when you know that this is the way a man is, why go into it? You know this is the way a woman is, why go into it? For the men, they will tell you if she misbehave, marry another woman and send her back to her parents' house. That's the norm for Africa. They will tell you, marry another woman and send her back to her mother's house, the one that will listen to you. But all these things could have been avoided in the first place if you understand the attachment style, the personal. The essence of attachment style is for us to know how to relate with people, because when you understand people's attachment style, you will be able to know how to relate with them. So if I'm in a relationship with somebody that is clingy now, I'm going to search for all the signs. Once I see all the signs, I'm just going to call the person and sit the person down there. Guy, I think you have a problem, and I think you need to see a specialist who is going to help you solve that problem. So pending that time you're going to solve that problem, the best thing we can be is friends. Nothing more. I want the best for you, and you are not in the right frame of mind to be in a relationship right now. The most important thing is you getting over some things. If they like, let them agree. If they don't like, let them all agree. But I am doing it for their own good. I won't be so selfish to say, I will help him. I'm not a therapist. Although I'm a therapist. I'm a relationship and marriage therapist. Even with the fact that I'm a relationship and marriage therapist, I can't fix the person I'm in a relationship with. If he's having problems, I can only sit him down and tell him, you need help, and you need to go source for help somewhere else. Don't expect that I'll be the one to help you. No, I'm just going to sit him down and talk to him. No, I can't help you. No, it's against my ethics as what they call is as my ethics as a professional to help you. You are somebody close to me. I can't help my family members too. If they need any help professionally that has to do with their mind, they have to go and see someone else. So the essence of attachment style is for us to understand the way why people do the things that they do, why they behave the way they behave, and to be able to know how to relate to them. So when you know this person attachment style, you know the way you are going to relate to them, how you're going to talk to them, how you're going to behave with them, so that they won't hurt you. When you know your own attachment style, you know the way you are going to relate to others. And if you know you need help, you know you need to work on yourself more, so that you'll be able to have a more balanced and healthy relationship. So the essence of it, you knowing your attachment style, is to have a healthy and a balanced relationship with yourself first, then having a more balanced relationship with people all around you. So this is where I'm going to be stopping for today. So I hope you got value for your time, and I hope you got value for your money. Actually, there's no lights here today. I had to use my ring light, and it's because of my ring light. That is why everywhere looks so lit up. So like I said, there are free resources in the description section, so you can go ahead into the description section and download them. One is an assessment guide for you to know your attachment style, and the second one is a daily practice that can help you move from the insecure to the secure attachment style. So we all need to be secure so that we can have healthy relationship. So it is just my own job to actually help people build healthy relationship dynamic with themselves, and also so that when you're healthy, you can actually build an healthy dynamic relationship with other people. So that is just the essence. So you're going to the description box and actually get that. So I want to say thank you to everyone who has watched me. Thank you. So wow, it's been almost an hour that I've been talking, and I hope you got value for the time. So share this video with somebody who needs it, and don't forget to like and to comment what exactly you've taken away from this video, how it has really been helpful, and what you've really learned from it. And also, if you're new to my channel, if you're watching this video for the first time, subscribe to my channel. What are you waiting for? Hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. And I want to say thank you to all my subscribers. Thank you to the new people who are just subscribed. Thank you for helping me grow. I love you all. I love you all. So for the next few weeks, I'll be talking about on attachment style. So I've talked about the 4 attachment style. So for the next few weeks, I'll be taking the attachment style one by one. So I'll be going deep in depth into it, explaining everything about those attachment style, and if you're actually going through those attachment style, how you can actually heal from it. So I'll be giving out free worksheets for each attachment style, so you can actually be able to walk your way through the healing of your attachment style, and be able to have a secure attachment style. So for each class, I'll be actually teaching it. So it's going to take sometimes some months, because I'll have to take each what did they call it, each attachment style for each week. And after that, and I'm going to move into codependency, because codependency and attachment style, they have a part to play together. So I'll be teaching about attachment styles and codependency. So it's going to take some months, maybe a month or 2 months, because I have to show where they relate with each other, how they relate to each other, and what you can do to come out of it. So those are the things I'll be teaching. I believe in giving free resources. I believe it's not everybody that has money to go to a therapist. So I believe this is part of the things I have to do for the society, to help those who are in need, those who can't afford to actually pay the fees of a therapist, because not everybody in Africa that can afford my fees. Yes, I not that I charge very heavy, but it's still okay. But it's not everybody that can actually afford what I'm actually going to give. So I give these free resources to be able to help anybody. So help yourself. I've done my own part. Help yourself by going to the description box and clicking on the link and downloading the free resources. Use it for yourself. And if you need any more assistance, you can go into my check for my email, send me an email, and I will actually reply you once I see your mail. So it's been nice talking to every one of you. So we're going to have an exciting journey on this attachment style theory and codependency journey that we've just started. So it might be live sessions, and it might be recorded videos, but whatever way, I want you to keep following it, to keep following types of it until when this whole session will be, or this whole period will be over. So it might take more than a month, or it might take 2 months. It all depends. So guys, thank you very much for watching. I just want to say thank you. It's going to be 15 minutes now. Wow. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you got value for your time. Like I said earlier, tell me what you have learned so far, how valuable it has been, and don't forget to come back to this to watch it the second time again. Come back to watch it the second time again. So if you don't get everything at once, you can still come back to get it the second time again. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you by next week, where I'll be talking about the anxious attachment style by next week. So get ready for that. Get your pen, get your journal, because I'll be giving you a lot of things concerning that. So take care, guys. I do hope you enjoy the rest of your day. So take care. Bye.